Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Branders Podcast. I'm your host, Arab, along with my co-host, Edwin. Today, we have on a guest who has made his way through the ranks of entertainment, from being in the front screen, from being in the back end, to now, you run a massive Shopify store, I believe. His name is Kyle Oreffice. I've actually been a big fan of you. You could say fan, we went to the same high school. You left a little early. You left a little early, and then, I always want to do the entertainment thing, and I saw that you used to run this massive Twitter account. So, anything about Twitter accounts, if you're new to the podcast, back in the day, starting like Twitter meme accounts, you had to be early, and running those was a moneymaker.
Absolutely.
Well, Kyle here used to own one called Guy Codes, and then moved on to build a YouTube channel called Give Back Films, which you guys have also probably seen. He was a viral marketing genius. It was those videos where you would pay for people in the drive-thru behind you, and then they would pay for people behind you, or they would go and they would, give stuff back to homeless people, and they were viral. They were viral videos on Facebook, etc. Well, because we went to the same high school, I always watched from afar, and I've always wanted to get you on as a guest because this podcast is, anything to do with entertainment, whether it be someone who used to be in entertainment, how they got there, what they do now, people that run Twitter pages, Instagram pages, YouTube accounts. We like to get it all just so that there's a encyclopedia of knowledge out there. So welcome to the podcast, Kyle.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Great to come full circle, and appreciate the introduction too. You're buttering me up.
We both went to can I say where we went?
Absolutely,
yeah. I've never actually said it because I wanted to wait till my whole family was out before anything happened, but we both went to Pinecrest Academy in Georgia, and then you ended up going to Blessed Trinity, right?
Blessed Trinity, that's correct. So that was up in Roswell, about 30-45 minutes away from Pinecrest.
What, you left in 10th grade?
I left the year before high school, so that was after 8th grade. So I believe 9th grade was my first year at BT.
Okay. And so I always knew of you. I think you were a year older than me. You were class of 2014, right? Or 2013?
14.
Okay, yeah. So you were a year older than me. And I just remember hearing that you did shit online. And I was like, interesting. That was the years where I had started really liking YouTube, etc. And then by, I think, junior, senior year, I was like, all right, I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to figure this out. Right. And I remember reading your AMA, and this was by the time you were still in college or high school at this time. You did an AMA on Reddit called and Ask Me Anything, for anyone wondering. It says, I'm Kyle Oreffice, owner of Guy Codes on Twitter. And that account was a massive account.
Right.
How? Take us through the process of how the fuck do you just started? Because when I read that, by the way, I tried to start, at that point, I wanted to start my own account. It was too late.
Right.
I started one called, Cool Science Facts or something, and I was like, this could pop. I'm gonna steal facts. I'm fucking scheduling them, and I would schedule them for 2 weeks. I've never actually said this online. Yeah, and I would do the thing where you follow a bunch of people that follow similar pages, and then unfollow them. So you would follow and unfollow.
Yeah, they don't follow you back.
Yeah.
bro. It's funny. I actually knew kids that did that, and there's this strategy that they told me. They're like, bro, you have to find a page that's really like what you're trying to build, and wait until that page posts a picture. When that page posts a picture, you go through the first 100 likers because they're the most active on the page, and you follow all of those the first 100.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness.
They had a different strategy.
It's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
yeah. They're the most active people on the page if they're the first 100 to like it. So those are probably the most qualified people to follow you back. I was like, you're a fucking loser. But anyway,
it's funny because in theory that's a good concept. Conceptually, it makes sense. It's just a lot of effort to engage with those people.
How did you? Oh yeah, dude. These kids were clicking away, and I think back then when I knew kids that did it, they told me that there was an action limit to because they were doing it on Instagram. They weren't doing
it, bro. 1,000.
They weren't doing it on. They weren't doing it on Twitter. They were doing it on Instagram because they said that it was easier building on Instagram. Because Instagrams are just generally easier to build than Twitter's from my understanding. But But nah, they were hitting it so many times a day, bro. They'd get like blocked. They get like blocked, like to where Instagram's like, what the fuck are you doing? But
Yep.
how did you end up starting that page? Like what like inspired you to start Guy Codes? And is that at all like related to Guy Code, like the entity, like the show that came out?
That's a good question. So it's actually independent of the entity, and I had to kind of put not related to Guy Codes in the bio to kind of clarify that because that show was pretty big at the time. But it was at Guy Code, so no underscores or dashes or anything. It was at Guy Code, so just adding the S onto the end of Guy Code. So definitely had to make a distinction there from the show. But Guy Codes was actually not my first account. I started with an Adam Sandler parody, believe it or not. And the inception of this was just being in high school and someone in my school telling me that it was possible to make money online. And this was a foreign concept to me at the time. I mean, obviously I was like young and ambitious, and I feel like I always had sort of an entrepreneurial sense in that I would always try and, you're kind of like born with it, I guess, in a way. Like I would try and flip things on eBay and find other creative ways to make money growing up. But it wasn't until high school when I started a Twitter account that I really started being able to monetize the online space. So back at the time, as you said, like Twitter was pretty new in its inception and in terms of its monetization potential. And it was very engaged. So right now, if you tried to do this same thing, and this goes into the fact that the online landscape is constantly changing and you've got to be able to adapt to those changing conditions. But at the time, Twitter accounts were super engaged to where I could pay $100, $200 for a shout out from a meme account at the time and literally gain like 5, 10, 15,000 followers within a few hours. And this isn't like today where you like if you spent that amount, you would maybe get like a few hundred if they were engaged, if that. These were engaged followers, active followers. So I started building these parody pages like the Adam Sandler page.
What was the handle for that?
I think it was at Adam Sandler Fun, just something completely random. I don't think it's still in existence. And honestly, I don't know how it worked, but it did. And so I kind of like what you were saying, I just posted jokes on it, right? Instead of science facts, it would just be jokes, some of which I created, some of which I recycled.
Right. A lot of those pages were just recycling. That's what they were.
Absolutely. Yeah. Recycling and scheduling, like you said, yeah.
I think that part of the reason that it wouldn't work that way nowadays too is because back then, I think that people's follower accounts were a lot more legitimate than they are now. Because now, like a lot of people's follower accounts are watered down by like fake followers, or they pay for follow. Because like a lot of the big pages, bro, like you pay money for them to advertise for you, and you get nothing out of it because that's the issue. So there was a company called, I forget what it was called. It was a sponsorship company where if you had over 10,000 followers on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and I think maybe Vine at the time, you could sign up for this company. You could sign up for this service where you'd be linked with sponsors. So basically, sponsors would make an account on this website. They'd say, this is what we're looking for. And as far as influencer goes, as far as audience size goes, and this is how much we're willing to pay. Well, after a while, they actually took Instagram off of the available things that you could sign up with because people were botting Instagram accounts so much. Like you get an account from 0 to 10,000 like that, paying like $100, and then sign up for this website and basically rip off their people, because they not only would they bought the follower accounts, they bought the likes and shit too. So it looks like you're getting impressions, but they're not getting anything out of it,
And that's completely a front, exactly like you said, because that's not providing any value for the brands and for the people that are offering the money in those cases. And that's exactly right. There was sort of a blip, like a complete reversal that happened at a certain point, and I don't know when exactly this was in terms of year. I want to say it was around maybe 2013 to 2015 range, where the value of just having a high follower count kind of flipped in regard to the saturation and how many people were able to just build followings illegitimately through all the different outlets that came up for that. And that's one of the main reasons I eventually transitioned out of Twitter and sold my accounts. That's a little later. So going back to Guy Codes wasn't my first account. I used the money that I was able to generate from those parody accounts like Adam Sandler.
How so you were generating money through sponsors, like paid tweets?
Yes.
Or people paying you for shout outs?
People paying for shout outs was one outlet, but honestly the main outlet was Google AdSense. And so Yeah, so this is what's pretty surprising is because nowadays like brand deals are the main source of revenue for creators on most platforms, especially Instagram and whatnot, I would say. At the time, there was incredible value in posting links on Twitter mixed in with the regular content, right? So I would have like X amount of tweets that were like geared towards guys or jokes or whatever it may be. And then I would have a link to a website that was like, for example, top 10 party schools, party colleges.
Oh, yes. So
And I'm not sure if you remember that. Yeah.
so then
So-
there would be ads on that site. You're saying?
Yes, and not just one page, right? So it wasn't just like one article where you scroll down and it's the 10 party schools. It was a gallery. So you would have number one, it'd be a gallery image with an ad above and below it. You would have to click to the next gallery, and this was very lucrative because every time someone clicked to an additional gallery page, it's serving them 2 additional ads above and below. So you get one person clicking on your link, but you can get 20 ad views
So
and get paid 20x for that one visitor based on the
Whoa.
fact that they're going through the gallery.
so that was a similar site to like Dose of College, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So
Was
I don't
it
know
your
if you've
own
heard of
site?
Cha-Cha. I eventually transitioned to my own site, yes. And in the beginning, there were sites like My Likes and Cha-Cha, which this is bringing back some memories. This was so long ago.
Yeah, dude, I remember seeing a link called Cha Cha.
Yep. And that's exactly what you were talking about in regard to sort of the agencies that connect brands to creators, but it was on a pay-per-click basis instead of a brand deal basis, right? So you'd have like AdSense would be the aggregator connecting the people who want to push the ads or run the ads, the advertisers, with the Twitter accounts at the time, like us, who would be promoting the links. And yeah, you were completely free, which people realized a little bit later down the line that you could just make your own website and not even give Cha-Cha or My Likes a percentage. So it became very lucrative because the engagement at the time was to where I could post to my 250,000 followers on Guy Codes, whatever it was. I could post a link and get 20,000 clicks on that link within X amount of minutes. So the revenue
That's
and the
crazy.
profits,
That is
the margins
crazy.
were insane. Yeah.
Did you
Go ahead.
go ahead?
No, go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead.
No,
No, you go ahead.
Okay, fine. So would you get, how much were you making off one tweet if 20,000 people are clicking?
That would be a good amount of money at the time. Like 20,000, that could be easy, $500, $1,000. It depends on the CPM you're getting, which is the amount of money for every click and ultimately page view of the ad.
So you were also getting more money in December and summer and less in January. So it's based off,
Yeah.
Did you ever delve into Tumblr pages? Did you ever run any of those?
That's a good question. I did not. I know some people that did, and I know some people that had success. It was just a little more niched at the time to where Twitter, you could get away with much more broad content in some ways.
So I know the kid that owns the biggest cat page on all of Tumblr, and to this day, if he sets up like an affiliate link through that page and just auto posts like curated content, it'll still make thousands of dollars. Like to this day, like the Tumblr in 2021, isn't that crazy? I can't believe it's still around, but
I could see a cat page killing it too if you got that built up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy. So damn, dude, that I always wondered, because even to this day, people on Twitter, they'll get like a tweet that blows the fuck up, like it'll do crazy numbers, and then right under it they'll post a link to something completely fucking random, and I'm pretty sure those are affiliate links, right? Like that's how it works, right?
A lot of the time those are, yeah. And if someone does have their own product to plug, they will plug their own product. That's just someone capitalizing on the virality of a tweet.
Plug your own product, because we're this deep into the podcast. Not everyone makes it to the end, and normally that's where we shout out the socials. But you told me specifically, I want to shout out my Twitter. Plus, I want to follow your Twitter so I can because I'm assuming you tweet like, what, entrepreneurial shit? Or
yeah, so I'm just getting back into Twitter, actually. It's coming full circle, and that's why I mentioned it, because I'm making a Twitter now that's geared towards money Twitter, which is like marketing stuff and more of this real persona of mine instead of parodies.
Yeah.
So my Twitter is @adsastronaut.
Okay, ADS astronaut. That's cool.
That's a cool name, Ads Astronaut.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I saw it was available. I was thinking on names. I was like, space ads. I like both those
and that's
things,
in the description if he has.
You know what's crazy? When you're talking earlier about like how your friend told you that you can make money on the internet and it was like a foreign concept to you, so you explored it further. Dude, I feel like we all had that personal renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a time in all of our lives where we're like, wait, you can make money on the internet? doing what?
Exactly.
And I
Dude.
feel like that's like the moment where we all discovered fire. You know, we're all like, holy shit. You know.
Absolutely, I would agree with that.
Bro, you know, I used to have this channel, and it was a channel where, so I worked for Scarce, who was a news YouTuber, and whenever I had to find him a clip, I would like, you know, I'd have to download a YouTuber's clip that I know they might delete later because I had to give him the info. And I was like, why not just make money off this drama too? So I would start uploading the clips to a channel. And I was like, this is not making crazy money. Like, some will get views, whatever, but a lot of the time they're short clips of like YouTubers talking shit about each other. But then Shia LaBeouf came out with He Will Not Divide Us. You remember that?
Right. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
The
That was a big
camera, the camera on the fucking
the camera,
and people would go and do shit. So while I was doing my YouTube videos or studying or whatever in college, I'd have it playing at all times, recording. And if anything happened that was interesting with a famous person, because there was always famous people there, I'd fucking grab it and I'd toss it on a channel, and it was like highlights of that. And that was how I made my first $100 off AdSense. And I was like, whoa, like, I remember uploading one.
Amazing, though.
And I was like, damn.
It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I can buy a whole video game, was like the first thought I had, with money that I just like poofed up out of the internet.
Right.
It's a crazy feeling. And then
You were a
kind
gamer.
of snowballs, yeah. I've never been a serious gamer, but I've always very much enjoyed video games for sure. I
Right.
got very into Rocket League for a while.
Okay.
Call of Duty has always been one of my favorite games.
Mhm.
Fortnite I got pretty good at, but never good enough to compete like you guys. I wish I was. I wish I had the hands.
Nah, dude, you don't wish, because my hands are deteriorating now. My wrists are fucked. Like, I gotta do exercises and shit every day.
Trade-offs, right?
What?
Trade-offs, right? It's worth it.
He'd be looking like this half the time, bro. He'd be like this half the time. He'd be like, yo, can you hand me that plate over there? I'm like, Aaron,
you know, I actually read your AMA, and that's how I started scheduling my tweets. So I was, you know, you were saying you had an answer in your AMA that you said I scheduled tweets using, and by the way, I'm gonna link this AMA in the description, guys. You guys, if you made it 17 minutes in of us talking about Twitter money, first of all, go follow Kyle. I will vouch for him. I'm telling you, I have been following him for fucking 9 years. So, go follow him, and then I'm gonna link this AMA because you guys, if you guys want to dive deeper, strictly into the guy code shit that he talked about, it'll be in the description. So you scheduled tweets using the Buffer app. So I ended up going when I made my Twitter account, and I was like, all right, if this is the way to do it, like, I'm gonna schedule tweets using the Buffer app. I fucking started using the Buffer app, etc.
Nice. It's a good app.
Yeah, you have this. So you built guy codes. What did you do with Adam Sandler?
So Adam Sandler I sold, and I used the funding to buy guy codes.
Okay, how many followers did I have, and how much did you sell it for?
I think Adam Sandler had about 50K range,
And they were active.
I sold it. They were all active. Yeah, I built it from scratch.
How many years did that take?
That I only had for a year or less. I didn't have it long term. And this was, things were happening fast at the time. Twitter was so engaged. It was pretty easy to grow pages if you did it the right way. And so I saw more potential in guy codes ultimately, and I got a very good deal on it. I think I bought guy codes for $600.
What?
Which is crazy.
And you sold Adam Sandler for how much?
I sold Adam Sandler for around the same. It was basically a 1-to-1 split.
Okay.
In a way, but guy codes was much more engaged, and I saw much more brand potential in guy codes versus
so guy
Adam Sandler
codes
page, obviously.
It makes sense, right? Because it's a niche and it's dudes and it's
right,
and they're gonna fuck with that content. Like, oh, all right, bro content. How many followers did guy codes have? 50K also.
Guy codes had about 30 to 40K. Yes,
$600. That's crazy how little that is.
And this was just a result of me DMing people at the time, and buying and selling and flipping pages was a big thing in addition to monetizing the pages through AdSense. So I was always kind of messaging people within the community and getting an idea of what was for sale and what I could potentially buy and leverage. So this account had never run a single ad, guy codes, right? So I bought it for $600. The very same day, I posted one link that made me $1,500 in profit the same day I bought it.
Hey, my man.
So that was a good that was probably my best investment ever, strictly from an investment sense.
What were you thinking when that happened, when you bought it and you see like oh fuck, like this was a good purchase. Like let's celebrate. You know, like were you like, what was the
I was just
emotions
extremely
there?
motivated.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was definitely very excited. Yeah, it was like my first taste of like really making real money online, like because and just being so young too, and in high school. I mean, I have
You
a
were what,
completely different
sophomore?
perspective now. Yes, I was probably early sophomore. I think I was late freshman year when I sort of started dabbling in, and then early sophomore year.
Did
about
anybody
Geico's.
know in at BT who what you were doing, or no?
So people found out eventually. I didn't really like to tell people or advertise it per se, but I mean, my close friends would know, and I guess it kind of like
Yeah, they
spread
brag
a little
about
bit.
you. Oh, my friend runs this big Twitter account, so they, you know.
Yeah, it just kind of spread a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
So
And
from when to when did you run that account? Like what year to what year?
probably 2014 to 2017 range. If I had to guess, I would have to look back and see exactly, but it was about a 3-year period within that range. And in that time, I built it up from 30, 40 range in followers to 250 or so, 250, 300.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I eventually
You said
sold
2014
it.
to 2017?
Roughly, yeah.
Whoa, so
No, wait,
you,
wait, wait, wait. Sorry,
no.
let me rewind. No. This had to be 20.
What, 20, because your AMA's in 2013.
Yeah, so 2012 to 2014 range, I would say.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes way more sense.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking more give back
Yeah.
And then
when I was actively
I'm
doing
ready.
that.
I'm excited to talk about that one.
yeah. So you ran it for that long, and then at the end of it, did you think that the return on time invested just wasn't worth it, and like did you sell it, or how did that go?
So I saw Twitter as a whole sort of getting more saturated, and I wanted to diversify a little bit because you're kind of at the whim of Twitter, right? Like if you have 1 million followers, 1 billion followers even, and Twitter decides, Jack Dorsey decides he wants to ban your account, whatever, then that's that. And I wasn't worried about any policy violations or anything like that. It was more so just the saturation I was seeing in terms of more people running these Twitter accounts and running ads, which was driving the value down of running ads. And also I got a pretty crazy offer for the account that I couldn't turn down. And
What was there? You allowed to
Yeah.
say it?
it
Yeah,
was
a little
over
podcast
200K.
leak. Whoa, for guy codes?
Holy shit!
Wow. Good
Oh
for
my
you,
god,
bro.
that's like a $1 per follower. Holy fuck!
Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude, you know,
That, yeah.
Dude, you know what I kick myself in the ass for the day, like every single day that I exist, bro? I had @quick on Twitter, @quick, right? Just the word quick.
It's a good name.
And I fucking got offers every day for it. I got like I think the biggest offer I ever got was this dude was like, I'll give you a Bitcoin for it, which at the time was like 60 grand. And I was like,
Dang.
dude, listen, if people are willing to pay this much money for it now, imagine how much money they're going to be willing to pay for it in the future. Well, unfortunately for me, the future's never going to fucking come because Twitter took my shit. They took it from me and they wouldn't give
Really?
it back.
because he bought it, you know?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. Obviously I bought it. I wasn't there fucking when
Yeah.
Twitter first came out, right? Like that's how anyone acquires those names, right? So they didn't really agree with how I obtained it, and as a result, they wouldn't give it back, and they forced me to pick another name that I didn't even really want. But you know, anyways,
terrible, yeah.
I should have fucking sold it. Is my point.
That's
Bro.
exactly it. Yeah.
Bro, people ask me all the time, like, would you sell Arab? I'm telling you could come up to me with $2 million and I wouldn't sell at Arab on Instagram. Just,
And that's what you want.
yeah, you know, because it's just a long-term SEO. I don't need that money right now. It's not gonna do anything for me.
That's the same thing I said, dude, and then they took that shit from me, bro.
Even so, if they take it, like it is what it is. But just having the fucking SEO of it is so like that's what I want to dominate.
Look, I will say this. I would rather them take it and me be the last person to own it than somebody else owning it. I will say that personally. Like at
Yeah,
quick,
but that
Arab,
Bitcoin would have been nice.
but I'm sure you feel the same way, dude. Like imagine somebody else owning
Oh my
at
God.
Arab and
I'd be
using it
pissed.
actively.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the
So,
beauty
like,
of it is it's banned on Twitter right now. And like my agency, I'm still new to them. So it's like they went and they spoke to Twitter. Twitter said they wouldn't give it to me. But realistically, Twitter's going to give it to me, bro. Like I have it on Instagram. I have it on Twitch. YouTube, I have it verified, but I don't have the link /Arab. It's been inactive for 15 years and they're doing the same thing. They won't give it to me. So it's like once I get it on TikTok, then I think YouTube will give it to me because the head of gaming follows me on Twitter. So if I meet him at an event, then I'll get it there. And then Twitter is the final boss. And they're 100% give it to me if I have it on everything else, even though they say, oh, it's too fucking generic of a name. It's like a crusade,
you can
bro.
leverage that, yeah.
You know, it's like a crusade. It feels like you'll
get there.
Yeah.
An Arabic crusade.
Because literally
Nice.
a year and a half ago, I was just your fellow Arab. And there was no Arab. It was just your fellow Arab. And then it's like everyone knew me as Arab, so I was like, all right, fuck it.
Shorter the better, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, way better. It's just that I'm going up against the ranks of Palestine versus Israel, and I'm going up against Saudi Arabia.
It's some big stuff.
Yeah. So,
in your case, though, that totally makes sense. I would definitely hold on to it because it's a long-term play for you.
yeah. It brings a lot of shit with it,
Yep.
Anyway, so Guy Codes, whoa, you sold that for 200K. Was there over 200K? Was there a clause in that sale? First of all, how does an interaction like that happen? Did you have to sign a contract, or you just get 200K cash in person? You hand them the really?
So this was on the bigger end. I had sold other ones for like 50, like anywhere from like 20 to 100. This was just the biggest one by far.
What other accounts did you have?
I had a number of other accounts, like Chitty Kids 2 was another big one.
What was
it? Funny Pics Depot I owned for a while.
Oh yeah, shit. That was a big account, bro. That had like a 1.5 million followers or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was like a quick flip. I only owned that for a few months because I got a super good deal on it. I think I bought it and sold it for like 3 times as much as I bought it for within a couple. Like it was so easy to make money because you could flip the accounts, you could monetize the accounts, you could do retweets on the accounts. Like, so it was multifaceted.
And you would sell these accounts to people in the space that you trusted and knew?
Yes, and it was kind of a weird thing because like there's no like securitized system for doing it. It's basically just like you send me the money, I'll send you the password type deal. So
and you could technically recover it.
You could get screwed over. So I mean, you could put this was like before 2-factor authentication and like all that kind of stuff. So you could recover it, but you were pretty much putting your trust somewhat in the person you were doing the deal with.
Hey, dude, let me tell you this. The sketchiest shit I ever had to do, bro, was something very similar. When I got at Quick, bro, I literally had to trust this dude. I paid $1,500 for it, right, at the time, and that was like very early on in my like career to where like I really wanted the mantle. So like $1,500 like at the time was like kind of like a lot for that name, right? And so I literally had to PayPal this dude, and I was in the middle of class, where I was in college, and I was in class. And like I've been trying to reach out to this dude for months, and he finally put an email in the fucking the bio of the account. So I emailed it, and then it took him days to email me back, but he emailed me back while I was in class. I was like, holy shit. And I was emailing him back and forth, and he's like, all right, we're doing it right now then. I was like, oh fuck. So I left class and I went in the hallway and I just sat there and I fucking sent him $1,500. I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at the PayPal thing, and I was like, did I just fuck that up? I was like, dude, did I just send this random dude $1,500? And then dude, but shout out to him because he actually did it. He actually like, but here's the scary thing, bro. I didn't give him anything. I didn't give him shit. And he and with no knowledge of how to use how to log into my account, how to do anything on his end, he fucking transferred the names over.
Wait,
I didn't
what?
do anything. The dude on Twitter.
He didn't just get rid of it and then you switched it?
No.
He transferred it? You didn't give him a password or anything?
No, I didn't give him anything.
How?
I gave him nothing. I don't know. To this day, I still don't know. His email was legend@gmail. All right, he has legend@gmail. So whatever that kid can do. But
this guy's probably rich.
Dude, the funny thing is, I actually know who it is now. I actually ended up figuring out who it was. Like, I know his actual name and shit. And he was one of the kids that got in trouble for SIM swapping and Bitcoin acquisition.
Oh, it was him. Okay.
Yeah. It was that kid. So he actually went to jail, and I think right now he's out. And I actually just recently had a conversation with him on Instagram, and he's been going through it because of the shit that he did. You know, he caused it himself. He did that himself. But anyways,
he was part of the later on in the years. Like, he ended up being part of that whole Elon Musk. The presidential Bitcoin scam. You remember that, Kyle? That went viral on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he was part of a bunch of shit. I don't know the specifics, but I know Bitcoin and SIM swapping were his forte or whatever. and I
That
know other people in
$1,500
that
bought him his first Bitcoin. By the way, you started it.
but yeah, no,
dude.
those kids are sketchy, bro. Like I still to this day don't understand how he did that. And when I got my Instagram at switched too, I had to hit up this other kid who's now also in jail to switch my ads. And he did something similar. He goes, "Yo, you have to give me, you have to turn off 2-factor authentication." And I was like,
Right.
"Fuck!" I was like, "I don't want to do that." So I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it. I did it, and then as soon as I did it, I started getting a fuck ton of emails from Instagram saying like your account's compromised, like somebody's in your account, this and that. And it was him, and he
Right.
actually did it. And shout out to both of them because they could have both fucked me and they didn't. There are good
Right.
people in the world. There are good people.
Absolutely, there are, and that's why it was scary too, is because while in your case they were both good people, and that's like
Good people.
how
They
it
ended
should
up
be.
in jail for fucking for
Yeah,
scamming
both of them are
millions
in
on
jail.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny how that works. But like, I don't know, the Bitcoin scams have gotten out of hand lately. That's a whole other topic. But
And that's how
yeah, it was
Kyle
definitely
makes
a lot-
money now. So welcome.
Yep, Bitcoin scammer, save the kids, right?
Yeah.
Hey, save him.
Yeah, that's terrible. I was watching CoffeeZilla's video last night on that.
Bro,
crazy
the
situation,
new
but-
one? The new one?
Yeah,
It was good, bro. It was good.
Dude, I gotta watch that shit. I always see Arab watching them. They look interesting as
Dude,
hell.
they're
and
interesting
seem-
as hell. His production
Yeah.
is so good.
interesting.
But let me tell you something. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I had an idea for a channel like that a while ago, and he's just killing it. He's doing it better than I ever could. But like a guru exposing channel, because
Yeah.
that's a whole other story. I'm being sued for $1 million by.
Well, we're gonna
um,
get into that then. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's circle back to that being sued. So, when it comes to a channel like that, bro, first of all, when Save the Kids came out, I sent it to the boys and I was like, boys, this is fucking hilarious. Like, this is the day they tweeted it. And we all started dying laughing. We were sitting in the living room cracking jokes about how shitty of an ad it was, you know? And we're like, this is clearly a scam. Like, they're on a shitty green screen that they don't even have proper lighting for, probably in a fucking, you know, in their living room that they just put up. And they were just told to say, save the kids. And you can tell it's like the 4 scammers of FaZe Clan. And then you had Tico,
Yeah.
who, like, Tico hasn't ever had a bad thing about him, you know? So it was like, it was the 4 fucking scammers and then Tico, and it was like, this is gonna blow up in their face. And this is the day it came out and we were just laughing about it. And then 4 weeks later, boom, all these videos
Boom.
drop, bro. Everyone's talking about them. The thing about a channel like CoffeeZilla's for me is like, I feel like obviously he's exposing fake people, whatever, etc., scams. It's such a stressful and like hateful world, you know?
Right.
Like to
You're
be
kind of
in.
immersing yourself in that.
Yeah. Like I get like he's a detective or whatever, blah blah. But like, I couldn't do that, bro. It's like it's just pure nonstop, you know, hate and criticizing other people and etc. And I get it. It's like it's proper. Like if someone's got to do that job, but I'm a firm believer.
You don't want to
of,
be the one doing it.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of like, if you want to become successful, focus on yourself. You know, like we might crack a joke. Exactly. We might crack a joke about someone in private and it's like funny, but in public, you'll never see me hard shit talking someone like crazy and like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want your job to be your monetization. And
Well, I don't want to drive hate to people either. I'd rather it be strictly comedy. Like if anything happens with anybody, no matter what it is, someone I don't like, someone I like, I'll crack a joke about it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'd rather be. Yeah.
Bro, and I feel like those types of people that make accounts like that, they're obviously very tied into the communities that they kind of use for their content. So it would also suck to never be able to go to one of those events, you know, like to the land. So the cool things that are, it's like a community driven thing because you go there and everyone's like, dude, you tried ruining all of our lives. What the fuck? I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a fact, but I'm pretty sure Keemstar doesn't go to a lot of events because of that same reason. Like he gets a lot of shit from people. Like he doesn't go to like, dude, he never went to a playlist live. He never went to like, I don't think he's ever been a VidCon or any of that shit. Like those channels just don't really, I don't know. People really don't like them. Yeah.
I remember both of those events from a while back.
Wait, you went to playlist for?
I went to playlist and I went to VidCon. Yeah.
Dude, wait, did you go to playlist recently? Like in the past, like 3-4 years?
No, this had to be like 7-8 years ago. A while.
We used to go to playlist live every single year, and it was so fucking cool at first, bro. It was all YouTubers. It was Jenna Marbles. Like it was
Dude,
Jimmy
I loved
Tatro.
it.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
Jimmy Tatro. It was all those people, right? Like, that's where I met some of the coolest people I've ever met on YouTube. But the fucked up thing is, I think by like the 3rd or 4th year we went, it started getting ran over by fucking Musically TikTok kids. And now
Yes.
it's not even fucking a YouTuber event, bro. Now it's a fucking TikToker event. And it's like, we stopped going. We stopped going because it was so weird.
I think we were there in the prime for sure.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, you
100%,
definitely were there in the prime.
100%.
You know, Musically is TikTok.
Yeah.
A lot of
But
people
I'm
don't
saying
know
like that was like it was YouTube, and then like this app called YouNow tried really.
Oh my god, I
getting
remember that.
in there.
They'd pay like crazy, bro, to get
Dude,
people
they still email me. They still
Really?
emailed me trying to get me to use their app. Like, yeah, we'll
yeah,
verify
tell them,
you
bro,
and
$5 grand
this and
for
that.
30 minutes. Like, fuck it.
but so it was like YouTube, and then YouNow for like a year was like kind of like in the forefront for some reason, and then they kind of faded off. But then it was Musically, and then it was Musically for at least a year, and then after that it transitioned into like Musically turned into TikTok, and now it's only TikTok kids. And it's a bunch of chicks that are like fucking 13 years old with the Adidas shoes. You know what I'm talking about, like Adidas Superstars.
Yeah.
The same shoes that they all wear. They all look like carbon copies of each other, but it's so funny. But
I imagine that would be nearly as fun.
No, it sucks. It sucks, dude.
Kyle,
So that's why we stopped going.
so you sold guy codes. Was there a clause in there that, because that was your final crusade, right?
On
Guy
Twitter,
codes?
yes.
That was your,
From
and
that
was there?
point, I sort of
Yeah, so I want to ask if there was a clause in that contract to help you push Give Back Films, which was your next crusade.
That is a good question, and there was no such clause. No. So Give Back, I built completely from scratch, and I started as a result of selling my Twitter accounts and wanting to move on to a different space. But there was no correlation or boosting of Give Back from anything on Twitter, which, looking back, I could have planned potentially more lucratively to launch Give Back when I still had these engaged followings to push the videos. But just by divine intervention or whatever else, I had a very unique starting.
Bro, you blew up so fast.
Yeah.
It was like tipping a waitress $1,000, tipping a hotel cleaner $500.
Giving homeless people $100 was the first video I ever released.
Did you ever get shit for filming your kind gestures?
Yes.
But the channel name was Give Back. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Give Back Films. It was a great name to not get shit.
It comes down to, exactly. It comes down to perspective, I think, because firstly, there's a lot of YouTubers that put on a facade of doing good things. And oftentimes they're either faked or doing it for the wrong reasons. I think in my case, I never wanted to make it about me. Like, I didn't call it like Kyle Films or like, and nothing against anyone who makes a personal brand, absolutely. But I think in the case of like charity stuff, I just wanted to make it more about the inspiration and the message and inspire other people through showcasing that there's goodness in the world and there's people that do good things, and that you don't have to have, like, even though sometimes I would give $100, like the methodology would be like anything that you have that you can give to someone, like based on your own situation, is amazing, and like you can still help in that way. So kind of the mentality going in was like, I'm very fortunate. I made all this money on Twitter, like sitting on my couch pressing buttons on my phone. Now I want to give some of that back to people in need, because that's just like my moral foundation, I guess. And my thought process was, okay, I've always wanted to get into YouTube. I've seen a few videos that are charitable, but there was no Mr. Beast yet. There was no Steve Will Do It, anything like that. So I was like, okay, let's make a channel focused on giving back to where there wasn't at the time, with the goal being people see these videos and then want to go out and do similar things. So that's kind of the impetus it was created on. I had no idea that I would even get 10 subscribers, much less where
Bro, you've always been an innovator so early on. I admire that heavily, because there's a difference between like in my scene in Fortnite, you know, in that gaming scene, I'm an innovator. Like, I'm seen as one of the really creative content guys. But when it comes to being fresh on a site, when a site is still new and you're one of the first people, that's a different level of innovating, you know, going from Twitter and its baby years to YouTube before there's a Mr. Beast, before whatever. Like, dude, for all we know, Mr. Beast could have had some inspiration from your videos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has seen these videos. they went crazy on Facebook. Like they're the ones of paying. You did one paying for people's drive-throughs, right? With Loft.
Yeah. With Andrew, yeah.
Yeah. So you first of all, how'd you become friends with those big YouTubers? 'Cause at the time, Andrew Hales was massive.
I got so many funny stories, dude. This is like rechalking so many funny stories. So I appreciate that for sure. Jogging the memory. Andrew Hales, yeah, he's one of my really good YouTube friends. I lived with him in LA for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was living in LA for about a year and a half, and I lived with him for about 6 to 8 months range, up in Van Nuys. But when I first met him, he was blowing up on YouTube at the time. This was like 2013 range, around when that AMA was posted. And I met him when I still had guide codes, and he wanted to learn how to do Twitter at the time. So I'd been messaging him on Twitter from my guide codes page, and we'd been messaging on there. And I wanted to learn how to do YouTube, so we kind of agreed, okay, we'll meet up at some point, and we will basically meet and see if there's a way for us to collaborate. And the funniest thing happened because I was going on a family trip to New York from the Atlanta airport a couple days after we'd been talking, but before we had ever met. And I'm sitting at the gate with my family, random flight from Atlanta to go to New York. And I look over, sitting at the gate, and I'm like, that looks like Andrew Hales.
No way.
And I was
you
like,
guys had
no
already
fucking way.
spoken. So it was
We
like,
had already talked on Twitter, but we had never talked on the phone or met in real life. So I walked up to him and I was like, are you Andrew Hales? I was like, he was like, yeah. And I was like, probably thinking I was just another fan or something. And I was like, I'm Guy Codes on Twitter. We've been messaging. And he's like, no way. And we were on the same flight to New York at the
that's
same
so
time
sick.
That's crazy.
on the same day. So it's like kind of like
It was meant to be.
it was meant to be.
Yeah.
The odds of that seem very, very low. But that's how I met Andrew, and that's he definitely helped me in the beginning. We collaborated a few times, and that got me a ton of engagement on YouTube. And I kind of showed him the Twitter space and what was going on there. I don't think he ever got too deep into it, but showed him what was going on there.
That's dope. So you started that giving $100 to homeless people. That has 10 million views.
That's the biggest one, yeah.
But did it just blow up instantly?
So pretty much, like, and I know in the first week I was up to like over 50K subscribers, I think, and the first couple weeks, over 50K subscribers and over 100K views on that video. And it just kind of snowball effect. Like Tyler Oakley, who was really massive at the time.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Tyler Oakley,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah. He posted it on his blog, and he was like, oh my goodness, like he like, it was like completely genuine. Like he posted, he was like, this is really inspiring, like, because I guess there hadn't been too much of that stuff at the time, and that got it so much traction. And then it got picked up by various news outlets, and it was just snowballing, and it got put on the featured page on YouTube. And at one point it was like top 3 on the trending videos. So that just really snowball affected the channel.
Crazy.
Which I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like you're like what you brought up earlier about like when I asked you if you got shit for it. I feel like you're right about like the way you present it, because like I was a part of a YouTube channel that has 5 million subscribers, and before Brand Risk, and we did something similar. We went to, it was like during Christmas, and we had like, it was like a sponsored video, so we had like $5,000 or something, and we literally just went to Walmart and we spent all day at Walmart and we just bought everyone's everything. Like, yeah, like if we saw a family pulling up with a cart, we like just bought all their stuff. Say like all the entire that was the whole video, right? And then like you look at the comment section, and a lot of it was positive, but a lot of it was like also like, oh, like, you know, like the problem with people doing this shit is like they always have to film it, like it's all for personal gain, like this and that, it's not genuine. But like I feel like the way you framed it, where like you said it, you know, it wasn't a personal brand, it was like a brand about giving back, like that really made it almost more genuine. And I think that I think that that's why it was so well received, because like I said, anyone that does that nowadays that isn't Mr. Beast or something like that, like they get some shit for it. But the way you positioned yourself was really, really good. And also I feel like people really like that feel good content without the attachment of like of a needless personality to it. You get what I'm saying? Like they don't want to see like the crazy personality, like the crazy YouTuber. They just want to see like an act of kindness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
just some random awkward kid in high school.
Yeah. What? So you did this from when to when? Like you started that channel from when to when? Like did you run it?
Yeah, I started it around 2013, and I believe that's when the first video was uploaded. I think in October. And that would be awkward if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure it's 2013. And I still actively, I appreciate you. I still have the channel. I just haven't been actively uploading on it as much, and I do plan on relaunching it when my time allows me. I honestly am just trying to level up my money through e-commerce and everything so that I have funds where I can just go crazy with the videos and kind of make it my full-time thing again, because I'm sure you guys know, obviously, it's like pretty much a full-time thing and a big time commitment.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. Did the views
um,
from the videos not like pay for the next giving $100? You know what I'm saying? Like
so
it
that's
was
the other
not.
thing. Yeah, it was pretty.
Oh shit, you do. I'm looking at a video from 2016. You were making videos with Jesse. Is that his name?
Jess Hill.
Jess
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah, that's when I was living out in LA.
That's
He's
a
still out
dude
there. I
from
forgot.
our. Yeah, he went to Pinecrest too at one point, I think.
Pinecrest, yeah.
And
Mhm.
and he well, he's a model now. I don't know what he
He did
does.
some modeling
I
stuff in
haven't
LA, yeah.
I haven't seen his shit in fucking years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this fucking video here to see, like, you're saying you're reviving it. I thought you sold the channel.
No, I never sold the channel. I got offers for the channel, and I have some people that have tried to take the channel through, I don't even know, like
Hacking.
various methods, yeah. And so it's been a weird run, but I've always, it's Give Back is kind of like, to me, where I'm like, it's my baby, like kind of like how Arab is for you. So even if someone offered me 100, 200, a million today, even, which is way more than it would be worth based on the views it's getting, I would still say no, based on the fact that
This is your
I
accomplishment.
built it.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, I mean, I do see, I do want to relaunch it in the future, and I see future potential in it, and having it as a platform, and I'm just waiting for the right time, basically, to get
Edwin has
fully
a saying
engaged
about
again.
subscribers, like, even if they're inactive. Say it, Edwin.
Yeah.
Tell me your little subscriber quote.
So I have this it's like a theory or whatever where I think that subscribers don't guarantee views. They guarantee you some potential traction. Where if you have a concept and a video that is meant to be viral, it is a really, really good, unique idea, and you upload it to a channel that has 0 subscribers, it could do well. It probably won't. But if you upload it to a channel that has 100,000 subscribers, even if they're not super active, at least you'll get that traction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that subscribers are more, they allow you traction more than guarantee you views. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're like, oh, why do you have 5 million subscribers but only get this many views? It's because the video didn't deserve the traction.
Right.
And that's just like objectively how it is.
And YouTube also penalizes you as well for time without uploading. So any time that you spend, whether it be, I mean, the longer you spend without uploading, the more the penalty will be. So to where when you start uploading again, kind of tying into what you were saying, it will only serve those videos to a small percentage of your subscriber base until you get that consistency again. YouTube really values consistency. Like, that's, the algorithm has changed a lot in recent years to value, obviously, as you guys know, watch time and then upload consistency.
Do you know why it's like that?
I think because advertisers see more value in watch time than they do views and subscribers, because watch time is a metric that directly says, okay, this person is engaging with this video for this long. So if I put my ad here, their chances of engaging with the ad are higher. So that's my take on it, or my theory.
I feel like another big reason too is because YouTube is trying to really encourage channels to upload at the same time, the same place, the same frequency, because then people know when to tune in. It's like a show.
Yes.
It's like a TV show. Like it's always on at 8 p.m. at this time on this day. It's like
Absolutely.
An example of that would be like David Dobrik. He's one of the most successful vloggers ever. His format stays the same. His upload schedule is the same, and obviously he's super rewarded for it. And his videos, they warrant the traction. Like they're good enough to warrant that push or whatever. So I love talking about YouTube analytics, bro. I find them very interesting because there's like a lot of like hearsay. It's like what works and what doesn't work, and it's funny how like none of it works 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? You could have the most variable. You could have the most consistent schedule. You could, in your opinion, have the best content, but it just won't do shit for whatever reason. And then you switch up one thing and it goes fucking interstellar.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is that it's digital real estate. So if you have a video a year ago that gets put on the featured page, you can get money from that video. Yeah. Just based on that. So it's an amazing space to be in, and it's definitely I still own the channel and still want to get fully back into it. I'm just trying to stack up enough money to where I can get on. Because now it's like you got Steve will do it, throw in millions of dollars of video, and like,
Dude,
and
it's
I mean,
crazy.
it doesn't need to be like that, but I mean, in order to stand out now,
I almost feel like
it's a little
people
different.
I almost feel like you would still succeed way harder than them because of the genuineness of giving somebody $100 as opposed to a fucking Tesla. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I just feel like giving away Tesla is almost like a YouTube punchline these days. Like it's like the quintessential like high tier YouTuber has to give away one Tesla a video for it to fucking blow up. But like
Right.
That's
but
like
you know,
Steve's
like
niche, bro.
but hey, listen, but I will say this. I actually really appreciate that you mentioned Steve along with Mr. Beast, because I actually for the longest time refused to support Steve's content, because for a while I thought that it was his friends egging him on to basically killing himself through
That's what I thought. I was pretty.
Dude,
Yeah,
I put a bet.
concerning.
I made a bet with my Twitch chat, and I said Steve will do it. Will be
Over-under.
dead before 2022.
Yep. I was
not
betting the
anymore.
same thing.
Not anymore. He's not doing that shit anymore. Obviously.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But if he kept
but
going
it's
like that, bro, there's no way he didn't die within the next few years.
Bro, he did some of the craziest shit I've ever seen, like from just like my knowledge
How's
of
his
the
liver
human
not
body.
fucking destroyed?
Yeah, like he did some, dude, and like did he throw it up off camera? I fucking hope so. But
I would
like,
hope so, dude. My girlfriend's a nurse and she was freaking out.
yeah,
Like she was like, "This is
exactly.
not normal."
Yeah, so I really like that you brought him up, because I really like the turn that his content has taken. I think he realized it too, and I think that he's genuinely a good person to where, like, I've met a few times, and out of that entire group, I would say that the two people that I feel like have the least of like a Hollywood, I don't want to say ego because they're all nice, but like Steve was one of the nicest people I met in that group, and Salim was one of the nicest people. Those two are my two favorites. And
It's funny because I didn't like Salim first at either, but I do like him now.
yeah, they're both like not Hollywood, bro. Like they'll talk to anyone, they'll like, you know, talk about whatever, and they're really cool. That you don't get that air of a bit of arrogance from them that you might get from other people in the group. But so like I really like that you brought up Steve like that, because I like that that's like what people think of him now as, instead of the fucking the
Absolutely,
the 2019 shoe nice, you know?
Oh my God, shoe nice.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard his name?
Recently, like a year ago.
Really?
Yeah, he
For
still makes his
what?
way. I mean, he fucking eats shoes and shit. Literally, like he eats the most random shit, bro.
You know, he left his entire family for that YouTube career. Like they didn't support it, so he left. He left his wife and kids. Bro. He lives by himself and shit.
Wow.
Do you know who Shoe Nice is?
Dedication?
Do you know who Shoe Nice is?
Yes,
like
I do. I
eats
haven't
and
seen
drinks
his
the
videos
most
in like 2
random
years.
weird shit. Yeah.
He eats
I
like
remember
glue
when I
and
was-
shit.
It's
Toilet
like
paper.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of his videos. I don't think I'm subscribed, but this was around the time that I was like
No one
seeing
is.
Steve's
No,
videos.
I don't think anyone
Yeah.
subscribed to him for
He's
sure.
like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Shoe Nice. 173K subs. Yeah, no one's subscribed. He gets fucking. Anyways, so you built Give Back Films. You're not gonna sell that bitch. Do you still have the plaque?
You want to hear some bullshit? I never got the
No
plaque.
way, bro.
Over
Ask them.
500K. I
Can't
should
you
have gotten
message
2
them?
plaques.
Can you not message them and
I
ask for a
tried.
replacement?
I need to figure that out because I remember being really upset about that, and I did try and contact them.
Dude,
and I
that
said,
thing
"Look,
is
like,
one of my biggest accomplishments. I love that thing.
yeah, it's amazing. I'm so salty.
Because
I should have gotten 2.
dude, when I started, like that was in my head. I was like, this is what I want. And once you have it, it's like, all right, like it's there, it's cool. But it's just like a commemoration of, look, I did it, you know?
Yeah, and that's exactly the mindset.
Bro, you need that. Feel
I know.
bad for you.
I'm gonna
I feel
after
for
this
you.
call later. I'm probably gonna look into that because that's annoying me now. I want to put it on my wall.
Well, you said you should have gotten 2 plaques. Is that you're just saying that as a figure of speech, or do you have 2 channels?
I thought there was one. I thought there was one for 100 and one for 500 now.
No, there's
Am I
one for
wrong?
100 and a
No.
million. Yeah,
One,
and a
yeah.
million.
Okay.
100 million.
Okay.
The million is
for some
like
reason I thought.
way bigger.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I need to keep growing it then and just get the million one.
That'll be a cool one. Yeah.
Fuck it. He skipped the 100K. He went straight to a million. My
Hey,
man.
now we fired some
Yeah,
motivation
level up.
under his ass, right? He's like, all right, well, shit. If there's one for $1 million, then all right, I don't need the 100K.
Yeah.
I'm getting to $1 million.
Got to prove a point.
You live in Colorado now?
Yes, I do. I live in Denver, Colorado, and
Because you like
hopefully be moving
weed?
to- I do enjoy weed. Yes.
Really? You don't seem like
And I also enjoy-
a weed guy.
That's what everyone says. Yeah. I think weed has helped me a lot. in a lot of
Mhm.
ways, but it also
Creatively.
creatively, yeah, but it also comes down to the individual person and how they can handle it, right? Because
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
yeah, I had to learn like, okay, I got to get my responsibilities done and everything else, and,
Yeah.
and balance it if I'm going to do that. But
I'm very
um,
I'll do it like once every 2 months, once a month. Maybe it depends.
Yeah.
Vacation. If I'm on a like on like an actual vacation, not just like traveling, like some sort of convention or something. And then like I got all my homies. They fucking smoke every day. So like
yeah, to each his own.
yeah, exactly. You just as
I
long
like
as
the
you
mountains.
yeah you like the mountains. That's what.
That's the main reason.
You go skiing all the fucking time.
Snowboarding, yeah, I got 108 days last season.
108 days of
Mhm.
snowboarding.
Last season, yeah. It's
What's
my
last
thing.
season? How many seasons is it? How big
Oh,
of a
season is just like when the winter starts from like November to April range. So between the months of November and April, I went
So you're
108
talking
days.
180 days and you got 108 days out of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's crazy. How far? Like, do you
Thank
live
you, yeah.
in the mountains or you have to drive far for them?
So Denver's about an hour and a half from the mountains, but I was staying in Airbnbs all last winter, just running my e-com stores. So I would just bring all my inventory and fill up my car and just stay in Steamboat for a few months, stay in Breckenridge for a few months, kind of bounce around like that.
So how do
So
your
wait,
e-com stores work? Oh, go ahead. Before you
I was
answer
gonna say,
mine.
where do you live right now?
I live in Denver. Denver, the city, is like capital of Colorado, like, but it's not in the mountains. So you have like Boulder to the west, and then you have the Front Range Mountains, which is where like Winter
Yeah.
Park, Keystone Resort,
Yeah.
Breckenridge, all of those are. And I mentioned my girlfriend and I are looking to move to Steamboat, which will be like in the mountains, and then we won't have to drive
Sick.
anywhere to go. Yeah,
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like Utah and like that whole area over there. I want to go to Colorado. I haven't been there yet, but that's definitely one of I've been to the airport like for a
you guys got to
connecting
come
flight or
out.
whatever.
Let's plan a
Dude.
trip whenever y'all are
Dude.
free.
Dude, that would be
Yeah,
sick.
man.
Listen,
Is it like
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing about us where whenever somebody says that, like, we're actually down with it because we film it.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, that's
Yeah,
cool
it's
vlog.
a business trip, right?
Yeah, it's a cool
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Not only that, you network, you learn about the other industry, whatever. Like, I'm sure we learn a lot about e-commerce because we'll just be shit talking, about business.
Yeah,
And
which is
then-
something I definitely want to. I want to learn that shit, bro. E-commerce is definitely on my list of things to conquer in the future.
And then we get to film it, and it's like a cool one experience, two good vlog for the channel that we're growing, and then so don't fucking offer it unless you mean it.
I wouldn't have offered it if I didn't mean it. Don't worry.
Is it super weed centric out there?
Yeah, it's like not even a thought that crosses your mind really. Like you'll smell it like everywhere you go. There's more dispensaries than pizza places.
Whoa.
Like literally every couple blocks. Like it's just not even it's not like, and I lived in Georgia for a long time, so it's just a completely different cultural shock type thing. Like people are so like gotta hide it and like it's illegal in Georgia type stuff, and like don't want to get caught with it. And like here you like walk in a dispensary, you're like, do I want like you can pick how you want to feel based on all of the options there are.
Do I want to have an existential crisis? Do I want to go to church? See, I can't. It's against my religion, so I can't participate with the weed stuff. But yeah, no, it seems like a lot of fun.
Look at his hair.
What do you mean? Look at your hair.
Where's my hair? What?
Y'all both got good hair.
Yeah. What does my hair have to do with my religion?
Hair right now.
No, with weed.
What about it? I don't smoke.
You
that's
could fit the stereotype.
Yeah, I guess, but that's what stereotypes are, bro. It's fucked up. He's the one that smokes all the time. He's trying to put it on me just because I have long
don't
hair.
You dare make it seem like I smoke all the time.
Okay,
People
all right.
won't believe you, bro.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Whatever. All right, fucking Cheech and Chung.
We just
fucking...
I will say, my room always smells like weed. You know why? Because he's smoking right outside of it.
Whoa. I just said it's against my religion. What are you talking about? It's not me, man. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. Right. My mom's gonna listen. My mom's gonna listen to this and kick my ass.
All right, if you have to take a look at us, Kyle, who's the stoner?
Who's the stoner? I'd say both of you. I don't know. I'd say y'all are matching every day.
Yeah, both of us. Yes, bitch.
No way I look like a stoner.
There you go. No, y'all are good.
You look like you smoke hashish, you fuck.
Oh, it's funny. I wish I had the flow right now. I got my haircut end of last winter, and it's still coming back. I won't be cutting it anytime soon. Let me get it to y'all's level.
Dude, this is my
My
first
man.
time growing it out like this. It's crazy
No,
what
yeah.
it does, bro. People love it.
Yeah, the flow, right?
Yeah, dude, the bun. People love the bun. So you moved into e-commerce after Give Back.
Yes.
What, you just
Yes.
like decided
So-
I'm gonna start? Take us through that.
So give back, going back to the monetization of it, I never really made money from it for a while. There was a point where I did make money, but I pretty much put it all back into the videos, right? So there would be the two income streams, which were brand deals and ad revenue. And during the time that it was hot and really getting a lot of views, it was very sustainable, and that I could upload a video and know that I would make enough to fund the next videos.
Right.
And then there came a point where I went to college. I thought that's what I wanted to do, like have the college
Not
experience.
for you,
like,
bro. It's so not for you. You can just tell. You can tell when someone's got it in them.
Yeah,
It
No, I
holds you.
appreciate that.
It holds you in. You know, it confines you.
it's what society wants you to do, but there's a reason, which is that I think it it limits you in the sense that it just puts you in the system, and there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 job or going to college and then getting a job, but the idea that that's what you have to do to be successful is, I think, what's imposed on society a lot. And I think that's just absolutely not the case, especially with the internet now. So my thing's always been like, I want to make, I'm going to make my own schedule. I'm not going to work for anyone else. I'm going to make something work online and live on my own terms, basically. And going back to what you said, you're like, I want this plaque. I'm going to get it for 100K, and now you have it. That's like a
Bro.
great example of manifestation, law of attraction.
My ex-girlfriend, my first girlfriend, when I started my YouTube channel, I hit 1,000 subscribers. She made me a plaque, a bronze plaque. It's like a shitty like cardboard paper.
Why'd you let her
It's got
go?
a bronze plaque. She dyed her hair. She started going to the marches.
Oh.
I thought you were about to say she died, dude. I thought you were about to say she died.
No,
I was like,
no.
damn.
I was about to feel really bad.
No.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't feel bad. She dyed her hair. She started, wanted me to go to the marches and shit. And I was like, sorry, I'm busy, So, yeah, that's why I let her go.
You get that? Won't blame you at all for that one.
Yeah, but I still have that plaque. Like it's a shitty 1,000 subscriber plaque, and I was like, all right, this is cool. I used to think, bro.
It shows you where you came from.
I mean, and maybe I used to think this because I'd seen like your blow up or whatever, etc. And it was in like that similar scene. You were the Andrew Hales, etc. Some pranksters. I used to think like I'm gonna start this channel and it's gonna blow up in I'm gonna get 500K subs first year. It's not that easy. People don't realize. Back then it was easier because it was much less like polluted. But it's not that easy, bro.
Saturated, polluted.
People think you just start and it's done, But there's fucking for most people there's 5 years of zero traction of like you building your craft.
And that's the biggest differentiator between people that succeed and fail is people take failure as okay, I can't do this, instead of a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I went from YouTube and I lost a good amount of money after that because I was going to school, I was partying a lot, I was going to Alabama, I was in a fraternity at Alabama. I thought that's what I thought I would be missing out on something if I didn't have that experience, which was just based on me being naive at the time. Like in retrospect, right? Everything's always good in retrospect. I would have probably not gone to college at the time and just stuck with consistent filming and the momentum I had there on YouTube.
Yeah. So that's why you stopped Give Back. It wasn't because like you were bored of it. It was just you want to go to college and party. Because,
I thought that's what I wanted. And honestly, I didn't it was like a little bit of pressure, being on camera and stuff, because that's never really what I want. I didn't expect it to get that big, and my intention was never to be the front man on camera. So I would be getting all these views and people would be making these comments, and now I am very happy with who I am and completely confident in myself. But back then I was still finding myself and still pretty young and stuff. So I would have all of these outside sources saying all this stuff, whether it was overwhelmingly good too, but I would hyper focus on the bad ones and take that as a reflection of my character. And I'd be okay, I don't even want to deal with this anymore. I just want to go to college.
Out, huh?
And
the bad ones pop out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not in the sense that like that's just one factor. Like it kind of pushed me to be like, okay, I just want to have the party college experience for a little bit. But basically the reason of saying that is that there was a period of stagnation, I guess, for a while, to where I like wasn't actively uploading on YouTube as much. I was playing around with a few different business ventures, but nothing was really clicking or too profitable at the time. And this was probably a period of 2.5 years that this was going on. So this was like it's crazy because like I had to have that happen to get to where I am now. Like if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be in the position I am now. And I would consider that to be failure because I spent pretty much all of my money, like because I was having my living expenses and living in LA, like $1,500 to $2,000 a month for rent alone type stuff. And
For a shitty ass studio.
Yeah, studio in Hollywood, where I thought, again, like I moved to LA because I thought, oh, there would be so much more business connections out here and it will be so conductive to my business overall. But ultimately, it was just a money pit.
Yeah.
Where with the nature of our work, like we can be anywhere. Like you can still make connections with the people. Like unless you have something specifically that's grounding you or binding you to a place like that, I think.
And you can always travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then e-commerce blossomed, following the point that was the most negative in my life and the most like challenging, brought me to where I am today as of the past 2 or 3 years, which is running a couple Shopify stores and managing ads for clients.
Well, how'd you get into that? You were just like, all right, I'm out of money. I need something to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess seeing my bank account lower kind of gives you that like fire in a way a little bit more. You're like, okay,
spending
like,
money that you saved is not fun.
No, you're like, I don't have that comfort anymore, and you're like, wait, I don't have thousands of dollars a day coming in from Twitter accounts anymore. I got to make something else happen.
Yeah.
So going back to what I said at the beginning, it's like the online space is like constantly evolving, and e-commerce and Shopify just presented itself as the most opportunistic thing that I could do at the time, given my background. And it's crazy how you can see like one thing or one tweet or one post or whatever it may be that kind of like primes you for the rest of the stuff that you're going to do. But I think I saw one Facebook ad at the time that had maybe like 20 views, and it was pertaining to running Google ads for e-commerce, and something I never heard of, because I mean, the most common thing with e-commerce is just running Facebook and Instagram ads to promote a product, like drop shipping and all that stuff. I'm sure you've heard. People just preach Facebook ads. So I just dove in with the methodology. Let me try e-commerce with a product that's quote unquote saturated, that's been around for a while, but running it with Google ads instead of with Facebook ads as the main driver. And that sort of
so you do e-commerce on the Google ads side?
Yes, I use both, but mainly
Dude,
Google ads.
You really should talk to Eddie. You ever talked to Eddie before?
Absolutely. We have touched base here and there. I haven't talked to him in a little while though.
Dude, I'll connect you guys, because I don't know. I mean, Eddie does all the ads. They do Google, Facebook, Snapchat, all of them.
Right.
And his company
so I'm just kind of focused there, yeah.
His company is so massive now, bro. Like just over the past year and a half, they've gone from like 8 employees to 60 now. They're booming, and like they have a few, you know, savants of ads or whatever, like ad people. You guys should just talk. Like you guys could probably go a long way with just one talk. I feel like it would be beneficial to both of you.
We'd definitely be down for that.
I'm on your page right now, and I'm seeing the retweet that you had. This shit killed me because we were laughing about it the other day.
On Twitter?
Yeah, it's like it's a tweet that says this will never get old for me. Here, I'm gonna switch so that they can see. It says AirPods revenue versus top tech companies. And it's, you got Tesla at 31 billion, Netflix at 25, and then you have AirPods by itself, not even Apple, bro, at 23 million. What the fuck?
It's pretty ridiculous, right?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, you're talking AirPods made 2.5 times as much money as Spotify did.
Yep.
How the fuck?
This perspective, it's crazy.
Like all you need is one product, and it can fucking boom your business.
And you
Dude,
don't even need to create the next AirPod.
Dude, it's funny you say that. I actually know a dude that he made millions of dollars selling cat scratch posts. You know, like the shit that everyone has that has a cat. It's like the big post that the cats go up and they fuck with it. Well, he just had he just had like a landing page or a website that was better than everyone else's, and he had like a really low like client acquisition cost based on like his ads or whatever. And he blew it the fuck up, and he was just like the forefront of that one item. And I think it was either him or somebody else that told me that like the way that e-commerce works is you just have to find a winning item. You just have to keep trying shit until you find the one that pops for you. You know, you run that shit, and then you move on to the next one potentially. Because what I was told too is like a lot of e-commerce stores, they're not like, some of them do end up being long-term things, like they turn into like an actual business, but a lot of them are like short-term, like this item's hot right now, and then the trend dies, and then with it, so does that store, and then you move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and there's definitely people that do that, just capitalize on trends. I am more into building the brands, as you were just saying, like the more longer-term brands, because I see more value in those. Because when you have a brand, the resale value is much higher. The scalability is much higher. It's not as seasonal as a trend. Like trends, don't get me wrong, you can definitely make a ton of money on, like fidget spinners.
But how long did Harambe last? You know?
Yeah, not very long.
If you just kind of depends, yeah. But the most random products people can make millions and millions of dollars with, and it's a very lucrative space. Because
how long did it take you to set up a Shopify store? Like if you had to, you're given a new fucking item. Boom, you gotta set up a store, make some ads. What's that whole process take?
Yeah, so it's a combination of setting up the Shopify itself doesn't take long, right? You just make an account, start the free trial, and pick the subscription you want. And then Shopify is basically the platform that allows you to build a website.
I'm saying you. If you get hit with a product right now.
In general.
No, you get hit with a product right now. You got to make a Shopify store for it, and you got to creatively, figure out what the ads are. How long does that take you?
I could get it up in a week or less, most likely a few days. Just because I have everything streamlined now in terms of what I do, which is the website creation, the website design, the product sourcing, the advertising, integrating everything together. So it would only take a few days to set something up. The real more important variable, I guess, would be how fast that it can be profitable, which comes down to a number of variables. The store that I'm running right now, I started with very little money, maybe like $1,500 in my bank account, and it's done like over $1 million revenue in a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. It's your pin tweet.
That.
What is the what space are you in now? Like what's the item? What's the?
It's like back health, so it's like products for back pain and back stretchers and massage guns and stuff like that. One of the main products is like posture corrector braces, so products that help you stand up straight. Which goes back to what I said, like that's something people have been selling on Facebook for a long time. But I was testing.
Selling on Google.
I was just testing the methodology. Like, okay, I take this product. So now I have this system where I can replicate it for different products, which is what I'm in the process of doing now. One of which being these Apple Watch bands.
Yeah, I like that. So I have a question. I like, okay, so let's say you start a Shopify, like just as like a regular person, right? You start a Shopify. And you go and there's like that plugin. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's like the plugin that basically plugs you into Alibaba, like the AliExpress, whatever. Like the plugin where you can basically
for dropshipping. It's called Overload.
Yeah, that's what it was. So
was it Overload?
No, Oberlo. Yeah, like Oberlo.
Oberlo.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, you have that plugin, right? And you populate your store with the item that you have chosen, or the series of items or whatever. Now, at what point is that how you do it, or do you actually have like items like when you started your store when you had $1,500 in your bank account? Is that the route you took? And because you were mentioning how you move your products now, you just put them in your cart, so that makes me believe that you have some like actual in-person items that now you ship out. So like, how does that progress? Like where you start a Shopify store, you hook up Oberlo, then what? Like
that's a great question. Yeah. So this is the distinction between,
because I don't know that transition. I've always wondered it, and because like because eventually, like I said, I want to get into that. So like this, this would be an excellent time to figure that out, I guess, for me personally.
And we can talk too about your guys' channel and if there's any relevant products you might want to sell with it, because
Dude.
you own a traffic source, which is incredibly powerful. Because imagine, like, I'm doing everything I'm doing without owning any traffic sources. So,
bro, we want to build. I mean, we want to build like a clothing line, kind of like Full Send, you know, where we're able to. But theirs isn't based off like specific pieces of content. I mean, sometimes it's based off like a vlog or whatever, and it's a basic ass design. But like, we want to build like, let's say every fucking 4 videos, some sort of design off of that, and then we sell it, and it's like this funny inside joke that people. And the whole point of our brand is we want people who are wearing our merch to be like, if they see someone else wearing it, they're like, okay, they can take a joke. They're not politically correct. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, exactly.
That's
so aside from that, going back to the transition, how does one go
that's a great question.
Yeah, starting the Shopify store, loading up Oberlo, populating their shit, maybe getting some sales, to actually having product on hand that they get shipped out? Like, if you can go through that.
Yeah, so dropshipping is what ties into Oberlo. And for anyone that doesn't know, dropshipping is when you don't order inventory in advance. You get an order through your website, and then you place the order through the supplier, and then the supplier sends it to the customer. And dropshipping is very good to test things out, but is not a long-term solution for a number of reasons. So in my case, I started out dropshipping, and I got proof of concept, meaning, okay, this product is getting sales, and it's getting sales for an advertising cost that makes sense to where I can make money off of it. And then, so in the beginning, it's perfectly fine to link Oberlo to your store, which connects you to AliExpress, and you can sell products straight through there. The issue is that shipping takes a very long time. You don't have quality control over your products. Oftentimes they'll come in like packages from China, etc. So your customer satisfaction is ultimately not very good.
Yeah,
but
true.
In the beginning, you can sell at a lower price. You can give discounts or refunds if it takes super long to ship. You're just testing the market to see if it sells. As soon as you know that something has proof of concept or sells, I would immediately deviate away from drop shipping
and up the quality.
Order bulk inventory of custom branded quantity. Drop shipping is not custom branded either. So now, like before, where it was just unbranded, like posture corrector on the box, now I have my logo, Posture Perfect. I have branded instructions. The product itself is branded. And ultimately, I make more money because I'm paying less for each product because I'm ordering them in bulk. So,
and it's
a lot of people preach about drop shipping. Yeah, higher quality. A lot of people preach about drop shipping as if it's like a way to get rich quick and like a long-term solution. And it really is a powerful outlet, but it's not a long-term solution. It's something that's great for testing proof of concept, to where you don't have to say, okay, I want to spend thousands of dollars on this inventory and then test it.
That makes sense. Have you ever had a time where you have a product that you've proven the concept of, have then acquired real life merchandise, custom branded, and you were selling it successfully, but then something changed in the ad algorithm to where your client acquisition costs went up, and the margins were like not as consistent as you thought they were? Is there ever been a time where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the dude that started a Shopify store for fidget spinners, bought a shit ton of them because he thought that it was going to stay like this, and then the client acquisition cost just went up and stuff like that. Has that ever happened to you?
Definitely possible. It hasn't happened to me, but it has happened to a lot of people, especially with the iOS changes on Facebook. So Apple recently came out with iOS 14 a few months ago, and that completely disrupted the Facebook algorithm. And so people that are relying heavily on Facebook that don't have adequate margins or don't have adequate creatives or whatever the case may be, it really suffered a lot. In my case, Google isn't as impacted, so I haven't noticed.
How did the iOS affect Facebook?
Basically, people can now opt out of tracking, right? So if you notice, you have iPhone, like it says ask app not to track. Basically, 90% of people click ask not to track. That didn't even used to be an option. Apps would automatically track.
I want it to track me, bro. I want good ads.
Yeah, see, if more people like you, then people would get more sales on Facebook.
Bro, like, I get on Facebook, and if the ad wins, good for you. Like,
yeah.
I clearly wanted this product. You win. Like, let's do it. You know?
Yeah. No, I feel that for sure. But basically, it changed. Like Facebook is based on data, right? I'm not sure if you're familiar, but you have a Facebook pixel that you install on your website that captures data from people that visit. And now, if people opt out of that tracking, the data that the pixel gathers is much more limited, to where you can't go and leverage that data to retarget similar people as easily.
I'm surprised that they even made that an option. Like, I feel like that probably came from like the heat that they were getting from like the whole, from like the whole like.
This is Apple, yeah. Facebook hates Apple now. Like this is completely Apple's decision to protect privacy, is what Apple says. Facebook is completely against it.
But then they have your finger ID
going at it.
They have every single person's fingerprint.
Oh, they have everything, yeah. So what Apple does
they have your facial recognition. Yeah, the cool thing about Apple though is that if the feds or if anyone, if they come up to Apple like, yo, like open this phone for us, we need the information inside of it, they'll tell them to fuck off 10 out of 10 times, which is really cool. And they've done it in the past before, which is insane.
Right.
That's cool, man. They don't fold. That's
Yeah. So it's like a blessing and a curse. Like, it's made it harder for e-commerce stores to be successful. Like, people have called that like the great purge of the e-commerce space. So many people are freaking out. Like, you can go on forums on Reddit, you can go on Facebook. Everyone's freaking out about how it's the end of Facebook, but
there's always another solution.
Yeah, it just goes back into everything always changing. You just got to be able to adapt, and if you can't adapt, you're not going to be successful online.
So Facebook already fucked me in the past, which is hilarious because me and my buddy Brandon, who's one of my business partners from a very young age, like he's the one that taught me a lot of the things that I know about business. But we started this thing called Spectrum Armory, and because he was really into guns at the time, and he like bought a bunch of guns, anyway. So it was basically custom designed ammo cartridges that were either painted a certain color, because we realized that like in that space, like colored ammo cartridges don't really like exist very prevalently. Like there isn't like a brand that does that, right? Maybe there is now, right, but back then there wasn't. And so we're getting them painted like, powder coated, like this color, that color, this and that. Here's the fucking problem. We did all of that before we actually made a Facebook ads account. And then when we tried running ads on it, we realized that they don't let you advertise firearms or firearm accessories. So we were fucked. Nope. We had all this inventory of these colored fucking magazines that we couldn't do shit with because Facebook wouldn't let us advertise any of it.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, there are some limitations there, namely with ammo and crypto and some health stuff too.
That'd be such a good company. Like, I feel like gun lovers would love to pimp out their guns.
Yeah, right. That's what we thought too. We were making like crazy colors and shit. The other thing that I thought was crazy too, because I used to help like people with Facebook ads, like because I had some experience in it, so I tried helping them too. And there's this one time where you tried running a Facebook ad that had a chick on it, and she was like dressed like she was like working out, so she had like yoga pants and she had like a sports bra or whatever. But they wouldn't let you run an ad on that either.
Was the sports bra beige?
No, it was too much skin was showing. And it's like swimsuits. If you have like a chick in a swimsuit, they don't let you.
I guess that's why Instagram models get paid, right?
They don't let you advertise like people that are showing too much skin. They also don't let you advertise if like a majority of the ad is words. Like the ad can't have that many words on it.
Yeah,
or else they recently changed that, but that was very long standing. They recently increased the amount of words you can have.
Oh, really?
Facebook, that was a big thing for a while. If you had like any amount of text.
So do they send you an update, or you just figure it out through testing and like there's communities?
Basically through communities, and Facebook will release periodic updates to their advertising policies or whatever.
So when it comes to that ammo thing, would a workaround be having another product on your site and then leading to your site, and then they can get the ammo there, or would they figure it out?
No, because
the problem's with the ad itself.
Well, no, if the ad wasn't about ammos or anything.
Too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You would have to get creative with that. You would have to do a lead grab or something to collect an email for something relevant.
And then email them.
That wasn't banned, and then direct response email them to make it work. Because Facebook scans your landing page that you're advertising regardless of what the ad is, and it takes into account the content on the page to decide if it wants to approve it or not.
Crazy how much info there is on
It's scary, And Facebook is a horrible platform in terms of people getting banned for nothing, and customer support and everything. Like, just being in the e-commerce space, everyone hates Facebook, so it's kind of ironic.
Trust me. We're not big fans of Facebook either, because they own Instagram and they're fucking us right now for sure. It's all
Yep.
it's Facebook. They're the ones behind the fact that
Kyle,
we
we
haven't
got
gotten it.
unsuspended on Sunday night, and we were suspended again Monday at noon for impersonation.
What?
Yeah.
Impersonation of what?
So I have at Arab and he has at Edwin. There's exploits on
Yeah.
Instagram to get people banned, and there's these fuckers, these little Pakistani kids, okay,
Yeah.
that just hate us, and so they just
Oh
get
my
us
gosh.
banned. They know these exploits. That's how they make their money. Like people pay them to get people banned. They have these full ass discords of just getting people banned, etc. So
That's ridiculous.
yeah, so we're talking directly to Instagram right now, and we're gonna get them fucking wiped. We're gonna like completely purge all their accounts and shit. So
Very good.
yeah, and then get verified hopefully. So
Yeah, you should be
Kyle,
good to get verified.
it's pretty evident that you are an innovator, my friend. Everything you touch kind of turns into gold. What's
I
your
wish.
next what's your next endeavor?
Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Next endeavor is just continuing to scale these e-commerce stores. I'm trying to make more of a legitimate brand that I pertaining to something that I enjoy, which isn't always the route that you want to take. You want to sell things that the market will buy and not necessarily things that you enjoy. But I'm at a point now where I kind of have these legs that I can stand on and kind of be a little bit more creative with what I want to do. So just building a couple additional e-commerce stores, running Google ads for my clients. And ultimately the plan is to start Give Back Films up again as soon as I'm at a point where everything is outsourced and automated to where I can just go out and film on a weekly basis.
And you want it to be the same concept that it was?
Essentially, yeah. I'm not sure if I want to incorporate more of a vlog style into them or what I want to switch up, but it will be the same overarching theme of helping people and spreading positivity. I love snowboarding, obviously, so I'd even thought of like potentially like finding a way to bring like underserviced or like communities or kids out to ski or snowboard, for example, because that's an
Wow, that'd be
experience they wouldn't
cool.
normally get.
That'd be really
Just a
cool.
lot of ideas have been bouncing around, yeah.
So I have two more questions before we wrap it up. One,
Sure.
how often, because we heard these, like, kind of heard them throughout your stories, but how often do you have to take a hit of revenue to boost your revenue again? You know what I'm saying? Because people are afraid to take a step back sometimes and
Mhm.
work on the next project that is going to make them even more money. How often do you
Absolutely.
do that? Like, is it a common occurrence?
So it's gonna be different for everyone. But I have had, I would say, one major period where it was kind of like stagnant and I was kind of at a low point. But I mean, that was like the longest period, I would say, consistently. But there's always going to be times where you fail and then have to decide, okay, do I want to keep going or do I want to work on something else just based on your situation? I guess the biggest lesson would just be to kind of laser focus in on one thing. You don't want to be trying to do everything at once, especially when you're first starting. So if you're first starting out, you would want to master one skill or master one segment of something, and then your possibilities get more open and diverse as you grow. So I would say it's a part of anything. Like I've had setbacks in my brand that made $1 million in a year and a half that made me think that like I didn't know if I would like there's always going to be obstacles. It's just a matter of
Right.
if you can effectively overcome those obstacles.
Makes sense.
So
And then
it's hard to put a standard on. Yeah.
100%, totally. I just want people to understand that like you have to sometimes take a hit to move forward. 2 steps back, 3 steps forward.
There's no book I would recommend more either really quickly than Think and Grow Rich. No book has impacted my life more in a positive way than Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
Okay.
And it completely ties into everything I was just saying in terms of treating failure as a stepping stone and all that.
And that brings us to our first sponsor, audiobook. Imagine.
Audible, thank you.
hey, but if you're listening, Audible, hit us up, man. Hit us up.
You're being sued for $1 million. You said, right?
Yes.
What? For what?
That is a whole long story.
Listen here, okay? He talked about it, but his lawyer said he can't. So I edited it out. But you're here, and I've already had to crop this out, and now I'm interrupting the podcast. So subscribe. I'm going to take the time here to tell you to subscribe. Or click the fucking podcast highlights channel where we have the shorter clips that come out a little bit later. If you guys don't have the fucking attention span. Anyways, you go back to the video. Yeah, that's it. Peace.
Of all the people that I could have possibly fathomed would sue you, it wouldn't have been that guy. But honestly, he seemed like the type, you know.
Yeah. There's so much to that, and I can't wait to tell you guys more when that time comes. But I can definitely prepare for it and get all my documents and screenshots together and whatnot.
One last question before we ask you the final Branders question. You still talk to anyone from high school, bro?
I do. I got some good friends from high school. And
what about from Pinecrest? You still talk to anyone from Pinecrest?
It's funny because I actually have better friends from Pinecrest than I do from high school. Some
Really?
of my best friends are from Pinecrest, like Anthony Carco.
Okay, he used to
If you
talk to
know him.
Carco. Yeah, I know Carco.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. Came out to snowboard last year a couple times.
How's he doing? What's
still
he up
friends with
to?
Jess. He's doing well. He's living in Georgia. He's doing some insurance stuff, but he's playing around with the idea of moving out here and quitting his job to do e-com stuff with me. We just got to see if it'll work out.
Yeah, they were the jocks. Jess and fucking Carco were like the jocks of the high school. You didn't seem like the
They
jock
were, and
kind.
that's the funny part. Yeah. No, I wasn't, and that's what's kind of funny. But it's kind of like spun around to where it's not really that dynamic anymore. And
Yeah, of course.
it's just funny how that works, though.
Yeah. We have a question we ask at the end of every podcast. Who's your
Go for
celebrity crush?
Oh, celebrity crush.
Like a hot chick, you know, your
that is
girlfriend
a
doesn't have to
tough
hear
one.
about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you still find people hot, you know? Like, just because
Of
you're dating
course.
someone.
Of course. Maybe like a Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, right. That's a
Okay,
good pick.
nice.
What about like a dude? Like, who's a
Can't
good
go
looking
wrong.
actor dude? Like, if you had to pick like the best
Oh
looking
God.
actor.
Oh, I'm not gay, but if I was,
course, exactly.
it would be Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hey, my man.
Who's that?
He's my
Star-Lord?
Chris Pratt.
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt?
He's the
Okay.
dude. He's the dude from Parks and Rec
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. Okay, Chris Pratt's good
Yeah.
looking.
Chris
Okay,
Pratt
okay.
is the homie. He's based. He doesn't get pushed around by Hollywood, and he's a great actor, and he's
My
funny.
man said.
Yeah.
My man said he's based. I have not heard somebody describe somebody else as based in years. I'm gonna start using.
He is based, my friend. Yeah,
I'm gonna start
he's the
using that.
definition.
What's that mean? Like,
Yep.
not like you didn't take
Like
the pill.
like you're not
Like,
you're
you
not
didn't
take the pill,
normie.
right?
Like
yeah,
you're not.
yeah.
Yeah, like he's hip. Like he's
Well, yeah.
not like.
Yeah,
He doesn't get pushed around by Hollywood. Like he's
Yeah.
confident in
Yeah.
his ideals.
Yeah.
He's based.
One day surgeries are gonna get really good, and they are, I think, nowadays. There was a chick the other day at a party. We were at the Tory Lane's birthday party, and there was just babe, bro. Babe. She was so fine. We were
Yeah.
talking, whatever. But her voice, bro, I wasn't sure if she used to be a dude, and I was like, shit. But whatever she did,
Questionable now,
bro,
isn't it?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, she is so fine. But her voice tells me that she could totally either be a chick with a fucked up voice or a dude that just hasn't fully been able to change his voice. And I even told the homies, I was like, boys, if I end up getting with her, like, you guys gotta promise me you don't make fun of me. If it ends up being like, if she ends up having a dick, bro, like, I'm out. But
Not my fault.
exactly, we gotta laugh about it together. You can't make fun of me. And they're like, all right, deal. So they agreed to it. Well, anyways, one day surgeries are gonna get really good where you can't tell the difference. So imagine Scarlett Johansson, everything about her is the same. Everything. Same voice,
Oh, gosh,
same
I see where
body,
this is going.
but she's got a dick.
Mhm,
Okay?
mhm,
And
mhm.
Chris Pratt, everything about him is the same, but he's got a vagina. You gotta go down on one.
Absolutely not.
Who are you going down
Oh,
on?
I gotta go down on one.
Yeah, who are you going
Yeah.
down on?
That's painful, man. What the heck?
Right?
This is like a lose-lose situation. It's like I'm gay or I'm gay.
Yeah.
Nah. It's all about perspective.
That's all
dude.
about
It could also be
perspective,
It could be
exactly.
a win-win. You know.
Right.
He's like, right? He's like, no. He's like, no.
If I gotta choose, we'll do both at the same time. Make a little
No,
three-way
no,
thing.
no.
So
Stop
you
it.
Not
gotta-
possible?
come on.
No, that's
You
too
gotta choose
easy.
one.
Okay. I'm getting too crazy. Let's go. Oh, God.
Once you answer, we'll tell you
Chris
what we
Pratt.
pick. Chris Pratt?
I knew you were gonna pick Chris
Yeah,
Pratt.
he
I knew
would.
it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I
he doesn't
can't,
wanna-
I can't get around the dick. What am I
I'm
gonna
going
do?
down on Scarlett, bro. I'm
Nah.
going down on Scarlett.
But
Okay.
he picked Chris Pratt because he thought he was cool too. He's
Yeah,
based.
so,
he's like,
yeah,
I don't give
true.
a fuck about Scarlett. He's
True,
like, Chris
true,
is
true.
cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can get
I
lunch
get to hang out with
after.
Chris Pratt. All right.
Yeah.
Feel like a recurring thing.
Yeah, is it Chris Pratt though? Anyways, Kyle, guys, make sure to check out Kyle on his fucking Twitter. I'm following it. You guys should be following it if you want to, get in that space. You guys know here on this podcast, we bring people in that have done a plethora of things in entertainment. And, if this podcast is a testament to anything, clearly he's done so many things from running Twitter accounts and their baby phases to building a YouTube channel in a year to 500K subs, which he's going to launch again. Go follow him. His Twitter is linked in the description. Follow the Brandverse boys. Kyle, you got anything else to shout out?
No, I don't think so. I just appreciate you guys having me. It was a great time, and wish you both the best. I respect what y'all are doing, and hope to continue to watch you grow like you are.
Hell yeah. Yo, thank you guys for making it to the end.
Means a lot.
Check out all that shit.
Absolutely.
And if you guys don't like the long podcast, check out the highlight channel for shorter clips up in the
Watch the vlogs.
top.
Watch the vlogs as well.
Yeah,
man.
if they made it this far, they're going to watch them, right? Let's be honest.
Come on, fellas.
Dedicated.
We'll see you fucks later. Peace.